on, and we're live, and it's hashtag Love Right Create.
Yay!
And, I'm Callie Ross, and we are back after a very long seasonal holiday hiatus, I guess is what we could call it. And I'm with Gabby Robbins right there.
Hello, hello, hello.
And I also have Miss Morgan Wiley over there.
Howdy.
And something that has, we're all prepping for the season, for Christmas. We've just finished Thanksgiving, thank the Lord. And then we're going to start 2015. And I am so into, like, setting goals and being intentional right now. And I thought we could do a show about that, but then I was like, no, it's not late enough in the year. Like, we have to wait another week or two before we do that one. And I also have to give you guys a little bit more time to plan it because we just decided the other day that we were going to talk about YouTube. And I think that we could probably do more than just one show or one night on this because there's so much going on YouTube. I feel overwhelmed. I know that out of the three of us, I'm going to say this, Morgan, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but I think that Gabby is our YouTube expert out of the three of us.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
She's just, and it's because she has 10 kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Because I think the realization is that everything that we loved to do, which was watch NSYNC and, watch, for me, New Kids on the Block and the generations, watch all these people we loved. It was either musicians or actors. Those celebrities for this generation are YouTube people. Are the average kid who started a YouTube channel who now have millions of subscribers. These are the kids and the people that teenagers are talking about. So I happen to have a teenager who got really into YouTube last year, and so it kind of drew me in because I'm the type of mom that's like, yeah, you're not going to just watch some boy videoing in his bedroom. I need to know what's happening, what's being said, and what's going on. So Mommy got uber involved in it because I was approving people as she was asking for them. And then my two youngest are gamers. My oldest is a gamer too, but they like to watch gaming videos. So I just happened to I had to jump in feet first and just do it so that I was sure my kids weren't watching anything crazy on YouTube. So
no, I think it's awesome. And you kind of like segued into the first question I have, which is what we see YouTube being used for most right now. I mean, I know our answers are going to be totally different because we're all at different places, but we also probably all get on the computer for different things. But okay, so Gabby, I'll just go back to you real quick. You already talked about the kids, but maybe what, as a super awesome working mom writer, what do you see YouTube being used for most? And what do you use it for most as far as, like, what you watch?
Yeah, because I do have to watch all the things the kids watch. I've kind of got dragged into some of my favorite people, which sadly go to people to watch. I love all the English YouTubers. I have an affinity for the people of London and England and all of that. And so to watch these kids in their lives and just seeing their flats and they're using the lift and all that stuff, I am terribly interested in that for some reason. And they're all 20s, mid-20s. So I watched Zoella, who very put out a YA novel. It's called Girl Online. And in her first week, she sold more than, she broke records. So broke J.K. Rowling's record, all of that. There's a possibility she had a ghostwriter, which I think, is probably really possible. She's a reader, so I don't doubt that she knows about YA books because she talks about all the books she reads all the time. But it's pretty impressive. And her 6 million subscribers helped her, that fan base helped her get her book to where it is right now, which is fabulous. So I give her props. She is using YouTube the right way. So I watch a lot of those YouTubers, the English YouTubers. I also watch a lot of people who are just doing creative videos. There's a guy named Fun for Louie who travels all over the world. He's English, but travels all over the world, tries different foods, you know, different like music. It's if I could pick a job, I would want to be him because he just goes everywhere and that's fabulous. Then there's the Disney vloggers that I watch because we love Disney so much. We watch the Disney vloggers. A family channel we watch, all of us all together at dinner, is Board Shorts TV. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, where they record kids telling a story or record kids answering questions, and then the adults like mime it, which sounds ridiculous but is hilarious.
We watch that.
We watch that. Love Board Shorts TV, one of our favorites. And then it's the book vloggers. I watch Tea Time by Epic Reads all the time. That's where I found some of my favorite books by watching them, and just people's responses going, yes, I agree with you, because obviously they're from one publisher, but they do have great interaction, and the things they love about books, it's like getting to sit around and talk with your friends about books. But they're getting like sneak peeks because they are getting the books before everybody else does. So I love watching them. And then I have probably 6 or 7 book vloggers that I watch that talk about books, that talk about what their favorites are, what they liked about something. I always find it really super interesting and helpful to hear what somebody else's positives and negatives are about books. And all of the vloggers that I watch they're constructive. They're not negative or dramatic. I'm really good about watching through some people's reviews, and if they're dramatic, I just don't subscribe to them. But yeah, I also watch dance videos because I used to be a dancer, so I watch a lot of those too. Blessed to be Beyonce in my late 30s. I watch those too. So yeah, I think it's like every part of my life. Like I basically find that on YouTube to watch. And it's really when I'm exhausted, when I'm so tired I can't read, I'll pull up YouTube and watch a couple vloggers and watch a couple just to kind of, you know, get my brain going, and then I probably pass out and go to sleep. But yeah. YouTube has sadly become another distraction for me. I don't watch a ton of TV anymore, so it's kind of YouTube, which is the way it is for my kids too, so.
What about you, Morgan?
Well, I think we probably should just call this the Gabby Roberts show. Okay, I'm sorry. Are you hearing me? I got an echo.
I don't know what it is. Everybody mute yourself. Unmute. Okay, did that work?
I think so. No.
Oh. But Gabby on the best face ever.
I'm trying to unmute. Wait, can you hear me? Oh, never mind. Then I'm unmuted. I was trying to figure it out. Oh.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just keep going. Yeah? No?
We don't have. I can't hear an echo on you. Can you hear an echo on me?
No, but I can hear it on me too.
I hear it on me and Callie.
Which means it's Gabby's computer.
Oh crap! Hold on. All right, you talk. Go talk.
I'm gonna try really hard, but Morgan, why don't you go ahead and try with your answer while she's plugging that in and see if it works.
Okay. So, to be honest, I do not watch a lot of YouTube videos. I do watch some. Unfortunately, some of them are nursery rhyme videos for my daughter's music class. So, we got a lot of those going on. Because she's 5. So, I mean, other than that, I watch a few, usually just whatever pops up in my email that I find interesting of people that I've already been following. Some authors. I do watch some book vloggers. I watch a few, what are they? They're Amazon does a KDP one that I do listen to sometimes, where they interview different authors and they talk about different writing tips and techniques. So there's a few of those that I watch every once in a while, and then really just kind of new things that come out from authors that I like. But yeah, I don't watch a lot of them, which is probably to my bad. But it seems like I don't have a lot of time. I don't make a lot of time for that because I focus on some other things. But yeah, so I'm not well versed in the YouTube world.
Well, and that's okay, because I kind of am in the same boat that you are. The most I watch of YouTube is when someone posts a link on Facebook,
Yeah.
and then I watch it.
Yeah.
I like to do these Google Hangouts and have them automatically upload to my YouTube, but I don't necessarily go on there and watch a ton of these type of Hangouts. But I will say that when I do jump on YouTube, I do watch TED Talks. I tend to like those.
Yeah, I like those.
And it's not that I go and watch all of them, but I do tend to like them. And then I am like you, Morgan, where I like to go and watch a good book trailer, especially if I know that the author has been linking to it on like Twitter or something, and I see it, and then I'll click on it. It's not that I go on YouTube specifically to look for it. It's usually a link or something.
Yeah.
But I also was mildly addicted to the modern take on Pride and Prejudice that
Yes.
Gabby told me about, and I think it's those type of things I love. And every now and then I need to like link to a clip of a movie. It's one of those where I just don't use YouTube well. I don't think I use it well, and we're going to talk about that. Because when it comes to what we watch, sometimes I don't think we necessarily watch everything that authors are using it for. So I thought we would go through and kind of talk about what we see authors using it for and writers using it for, because that's kind of a good foundation for us to know and figure out what we can do and what's feasible for us. So, Morgan, I'm going to jump back to you real quick. What do you see authors using YouTube for?
For a few different things, I see authors using it, and I guess including myself in this, for, first of all, book trailers, for promoting their own books. I've also seen several using it for interacting with their audience when they have a message or just a personal note they want to, let their readers know about, or even new releases. Just kind of I think it's a way just to interact personally. You get to see my face, you hear my voice. It's just kind of one of those one more personal touches that, yes, I'm still promoting my work, but I'm also interacting with you. Let's see. Also, I've seen several authors using it who are giving their own tips. They're giving writing tips. They're talking to other authors. They're sharing their experiences of either self-published or traditionally their experiences and different techniques and things like that. So those are probably the three main things that I've seen.
Okay.
I'm sure there's lots of little ways to use it for, but. So.
Okay. What about you, Gabby? Have you seen anything different or in addition to that?
No, I think that's pretty much all I've seen of authors, and that's, to be honest with you, there are very few authors that I follow or even look for. Like, I will say that, what's her name? Who did Scorpio Races? Maggie Steffenbach. Say her name because I'm going to say it wrong.
It's Steve Otter.
That's her. She is probably one of the more creative authors when it comes to her personal stuff.
Absolutely.
And I follow her. I mean, I like her stories a ton. I don't like her endings, so I'm always kind of hesitant to read her books. But I will say I love, love, love the way she promotes herself and her creativity and some of the things she does. So I follow specific authors. Now, overall, and Morgan is not one of these people, book trailers overall don't ever rock my socks. Like, I haven't seen a ton of book trailers that I've been like, so I don't really go to YouTube directly for authors. Now, people who talk, shop as far as, writing tips and stuff. I've seen a lot of them on Google Plus promoting like chats like we do, and then you see them on their YouTube channels. But I also feel like not a ton of authors want to be their faces out there. They don't want to be, front and center, and so it's probably a lower percentage than the average, like as far as percentages on who's on YouTube. I don't follow a ton of authors though, so I'm not exactly sure.
Well, and I'm going to go over that in a few minutes because I want us to like you said, Maggie Stiefvater, I want us to be able to share some of the people we do follow because I think it's important for people to know who is really doing stuff that's right. But in addition to, I had a few other ideas. In addition to the book trailers, the messages and interactions, and the writing tips, I've also seen some casting, kind of like book trailers, but they're more like casting videos for books, and I find those kind of mildly entertaining. And then also the book reviews. Like there are a few authors that are out there that will do book reviews too. Because I started out as a book reviewer before I wrote Descent, there are on my page a ton of book reviews that I did. And what's funny is you can see all of the hair colors and styles of Callie Ross over the past like 5 years watching those. I should put together a funny video with just like screenshots of all the different hair. But it's one of those things where I think that it can be very what's the word? Telling of if you will like an author's book is by how they review other books and the books that they like to read and talk about. Because it's like you girls, when we're talking about books we love, it makes me want to go get your book or the book you just talked about. And I think that with authors, if they're talking about a book that I know I'm going to love or I read it and I take a chance on it and I love it, then I might want to go buy their book that they wrote because we have similar tastes. But moving on to the next question, who do you see using YouTube well? Like, who should the people watching this go follow, other than Callie Ross and Gabby Robbins and Morgan Wiley? Can you think of anybody just off the top of your head, Morgan?
I'll throw out. I think SM Boyce does a good job as a self-published author. I think she does well on her YouTube. She uses it pretty frequently and uses it well. I follow Joanna Penn. I think she uses it really well, along with all of her other media platforms.
What about you, Gabby? Anybody?
Sadly, I don't have a ton of authors. I don't even know if Maggie Stiefvater has a YouTube. I know she posts a lot of videos.
I found it.
Yeah. And sadly, the only probably other author I used to follow on there is Amanda Havard, because she was doing a ton of really cool stuff on her channel. She did actual videos.
But it's not there anymore.
I know, and it was so cool. And see, that's basically what I have realize is that there's great book vloggers who review books. They've got some great groups that are from publishing houses that do video things, but I feel like authors are not using the platform like they could. Like, that's why Zoella is a celebrity, and that's why her book did so well, was she had a fan base. You can create a fan base because think about it, if you have somebody who loves to read, who's following you on Facebook, who's following you on Twitter, they're interested in what you're putting on Pinterest, they want to hear what you're doing because they're interested in you. And YouTube is a very easy way to be able to promote yourself that way. I don't know any authors that are doing daily vlogs or even weekly vlogs, which could be awesome,
Except me, because I just started doing one.
Well, there you go.
I'm like 2 weeks into it, so don't, I'm trying not to, count my eggs before they hatch. But I do have two authors I'm going to throw out there. The first is really, it's not her, it's her publishing house, but Rochelle Mead does really great interaction, more on Twitter, but she has a really great group of a marketing team or an assistant that is very good at doing book trailers and putting up videos on YouTube. And then as far as an author that's good at interacting on YouTube, Kira Cass, who wrote The Selection, series, she like dresses up as her characters and goes and does YouTube videos where, because it's kind of like The Bachelorette or The Bachelor, and she dresses up like different girls that are competing for the prince's hand, and it is hilarious. Like, not all of them are super funny, but the fact that she dresses up and stuff, it makes it funnier.
Oh, I just thought of one. Tahira Mafi, before the last book came out, she did videos that would be like how to cut, what was she cutting? How to chop, I want to say it was like a pineapple or something. So she's chopping the pineapple, and then she's like, page, da-da-da, like she gave a page of the book where something like really fantastical happened in the story, and then the video ended, and you're all like, oh! And so I like ran over to my book, and I was like, wait, what happened? It was really cool. And I mean, she has a new channel. It's called We Still Write in Cursive. That's on Instagram, and I think she's doing YouTube videos for that too. She's fantastic at promoting, just doing, her. She's doing her, and I love the way she did when her 3 books were coming out. She did videos, and they were great.
Cool. Well, and I think that one thing we have to remember is that it has to kind of go along with the personality of the writer. I mean, honestly, if you're not an outgoing person, you getting on the video and talking to your readers and being completely boring would not be a good idea.
No, probably not.
So I don't want to name and throw it out there and say, hey, who's doing it wrong? Like, I just don't think that's a great idea. But I would like to know if there's anything out there on YouTube you think to yourself, no, like, don't do it, don't put it out there, don't try because it's going to fail because somebody else has tried and bombed, but we're not going to name names. Like, who out there has done stuff, or not necessarily who, but what has been done that you've seen fail and you're like, just don't even go there. And for somebody that doesn't know, it's the first time they're going to hear about it. Can you think of anything, Morgan?
Not really off the top of my head, but like I said, I just don't watch a lot. So, and let me think for a minute.
Okay, because even to think about something maybe that it's not an author, but maybe it's an organization or a group or, just something that you've heard that they put it on YouTube, but then nothing really came of it. Gabby, can you think of anything?
Well, I will say that watching as much YouTube as I do, I think there's a couple of things you need to be really careful of. Number one, do not bring drama. I don't care if it's the biggest misunderstanding in the world. It's kind of like what every PR person puts on Facebook. If someone has wronged you, if someone has reviewed you badly, if there's another author and you have beef, this is seriously not the platform. And I feel like the rule is promote what you love, promote positivity, because you will never get the response you want. You're just basically going to have every time. Okay, so I've watched book bloggers sit and talk about how frustrated they are with either an author or the book blogging community, and it just makes me go, I just don't want to watch you anymore because you're a downer. Like, it's not what I want to see. I also don't want explanations. It's not the appropriate platform for that. I've seen bloggers who are very, very popular that are going through life issues and have shared stories of, like, divorce. And I feel like there's a point where you're trying to help somebody else, but then there's a point where it's just like it's too much to put out there. So I feel like the drama of it all needs to stay out, especially as an author. I feel like you just don't need to do it. You need to just let the PR people handle it. And usually, if you don't, if someone has wronged you, you just don't. It's not the platform for it. Mm-hmm. Pranks are not my biggest. I feel like everybody has a different sense of humor, and so I feel like you can really offend people
I mean, on there, unless it's like an insight, I don't know. For me, you just gotta be careful. And then, I mean, the NA adult stuff, it's uncomfortable watching it when the professionals do it. So I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like book trailers and things like that. I just feel like, because you know what? Any kid could be like looking at the Wiggles and then they get your book trailer, you know? And then you ruin their lives. Like, I just.
Worst name for a band to Google.
I know, right?
All I'm saying is just, let's protect the babies. Let's not do it. Okay?
Protect the baby.
Well, and you know what's funny is you talking about other people. I want to be clear about something. Okay, just stick with me for a second. The name of this tool is YouTube. Just talk about you. Like,
yeah.
You don't have to go there and talk about everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gets people in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so, gosh, this leads me to the kind of one of my last questions. Will you, after this conversation, think about using YouTube? It's too much use, but will you be using it in 2015 more? What do you think, Gabby?
I think I've considered it more than 1 or 2 times to just kind of vlog and see if that helped me be more consistent with making. I guess in my head I want to believe that writing is very important, but then as the day goes by, it's like being a mom and my full-time job and everything else I have going on gets in the way, and I'm wondering if I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing today, and I'm gonna sit down and write tonight, and I'm saying this and I'm posting it, and that I have no excuse at that point. I'm supposed to be writing tonight, you know. I also feel like I'm terribly intrigued by the people who vlog their lives, simply because it's a little different than reality TV, and it's almost like they're trusting you, like you know, with what's happening in their world, and we're kind of testing it out, our family, doing Vlogmas, and it's not nearly as bad or difficult once you get into a groove of doing it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to see if it's something that it's gonna be a test. If I can get through this month as a family doing it, and see if I want to do it on my own. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do like Vlogmas and try to just commit to a month, because I don't know if people would be all that interested in what I'm doing every day. You know, maybe twice a week. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about you, Morgan?
Yeah, I've thought about it, especially moving forward in this next year. I thought maybe I need to start doing a little more FaceTime contact with people. Just like what Gabby said, just updates, maybe just what's going on, maybe even what I'm working on. I think just knowing myself, it probably is not realistic to say it will be very often, maybe once a month, but really maybe more like every other month. I don't know. We'll see. I'll play around with it, but I have been thinking I'd like to try and use YouTube a little more, especially even just learn it more, learn ways to use it better and how it could benefit what I do. But even just for myself, that might be a new outlet for expressing myself or what I'm doing. So we'll see. But yeah, I'd like to try to use it more.
Mm-hmm. Well, and one thing that reminds me of both of you saying just ways that you're going to use it. One thing I would like to warn authors about using it for is readings. I don't know if you've ever watched an author read their own novel. Look at Gabby's face. Unless you have a voice like Samuel L. Jackson or Morgan Freeman, and unless maybe
bring it on.
Yeah. Then just do it. I'll listen to it while I'm going to sleep at night. But the thing is, like, I don't think people want to watch you read your book. Like, yeah. maybe avoid that one. And I will not be doing that in 2015.
Well, I feel like it's with audiobook narrators. There's some people that are fantastic, and they're is not the book that they should be reading. So my chipmunk voice does not need to be doing my book. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there are very few authors that probably have that gift of reading out loud. And I know that no matter what, even if the girl was a 25-year-old girl, I would still feel uncomfortable reading my story out in front of everybody, which I know a lot of authors have to do at like book signings and stuff. So you guys all might be reading my book at my first book signing, because I don't know if it's gonna work. But I feel like you have to know what your your strengths are. You can't, it's like, am I someone who's good for YouTube? Do you like to be in front of the camera? I used to think yes. And doing this Vlogmas, I'm recognizing, I don't know, because the faces I've been making on these recordings are kind of telling me that I probably shouldn't be recording my face all the time. Maya, that was her first thing, was like, aren't you so cute in all your faces you're making? And I was like, I don't realize I'm doing that. Play to your strengths, people. Know what you're good at.
And you're good at making faces, so
apparently I should be an emoji model. That's what I should be.
Well, I will say that one thing I'm doing this next year with my sister is she's reading my book, and we're talking about it.
Cool.
I'm echoing, so I'm gonna try this again. But okay, let's see. Oh, it's still happening. Now it's my fault. But we're almost there. So maybe it'll stop when we stop our broadcast. Okay. Now that everyone can hear twice, it's really gonna sink in. I think we all need more in 2000. I have no idea what you're saying. Now she's echoing. Okay. Gabby, take it out if it stops. Like unplug it.
I did.
Did it stop echoing?
It's not echoing for me. It's been echoing for you guys the whole time.
I know, but I think that your speakers are not very consistent.
Okay.
I mean, they work, but they're fickle.
Okay.
And they like my voice, so they want to hear it twice all the time.
Yes.
And Morgan's too.
I'm afraid to talk.
Okay. Is there anything you guys want to add about YouTube? Anything that you can think of?
I think it's a ridiculously great place to get inspiration. Because I think some people are just so good at the visual and the audio. I mean, music and poetry and dance, and I mean, you can get everything on YouTube. Obviously, there's a lot of just junk, which, but I also feel like as parents, this is where the generation is getting their influence from, and as writers, this is where, this is their frame of reference, where our frame of reference was, comics and superhero, and movies and TV. This is where they're getting theirs from. So, like, Zoella's book is called Girl Online, about a blogger. So I feel like it's, as writers, and especially YA writers, it's kind of important to know what's happening, in that space. I mean, there's conventions for YouTubers now. They've got full merch lines. They've got full, makeup lines. I mean, the beauty part of it, of YouTube, I can't even get into it, because the fact that these 17-year-olds know how to put makeup on better than I do is just, I can't even go there. So there's a lot, and I feel like it's untapped, and I feel like it's something that we can use to our advantage from knowledge, but then to promote too. I feel like it's a good way to get a fan base. It's a good way to get to know your fans in a way that other authors might not be able to. So
yeah, and I'll say this, I've heard this, so don't quote me on this because I'm probably saying it wrong, but YouTube is either the number 2 or in the top whatever of used for search engines.
Yeah.
There's Google, and then there's YouTube. That is what people are using to search for things, which I kind of was shocked at. So I was like, I don't really ever go there unless I'm looking for music or, something specifically that I would think would be on YouTube. But apparently it's a very, very big deal.
It is. Yeah. It is a big deal.
Well, cool. Well, I think we did a really good job of covering what we know about it. I know that hopefully over the next year or the next few months, we can educate ourselves even more and maybe get some trial and error happening, and then come back and do another show and just kind of update everyone on how things are going. But we will hopefully be back next week.
Yay!
Yeah. And we will talk about maybe our goals for 2015 because it's coming very soon.
It is very soon.
Okay. Well, there's a ding that keeps happening, and I think that's like the ding that's supposed to like tell us to stop. Like,
I know.
Get off this.
It's like you're done.
I know. Okay, so I'm gonna end our broadcast. Everybody go #LoveWriteCreate, and we will be hashtagging LoveWriteCreate too, and hopefully giving some good tips this next year. And hopefully it's not all tips on what you shouldn't do because of stuff we messed up doing.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.